Let's turn to the keynote speaker today and allow me to spend a little time saying a few things about him, at the risk of embarrassing him. But the fact is that we are very pleased, first of all, that he's one of us. And he's also someone who has demonstrated that you've given an opportunity, you grasp it, and you stay the course, and you make the kinds of decisions that surprise people, but in the final analysis they realize why you've made those decisions and why you've arrived at the place that you've arrived at. He's certainly a fixture in football, in basketball, but certainly it is clear that he's committed himself to, as we say, giving back. And so today he has an opportunity to give back to his Caribbean roots, and we're pleased today to welcome Adonal Foyle of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
We have a serious problem with AIDS. We have a serious problem with a lot of things that young people are dealing with. Choices, decisions, consequences. Get Your No On, I think, is fundamental, not just to AIDS awareness and AIDS education, but basketball in general. You can't go out and play basketball if you don't know the rules of the game. My name is Adonal Foyle of the Orlando Magic, reminding you to live up, love, protect, respect.
Live up, respect, and shout.
Oh. A pleasant good morning, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for having me here. This is indeed a great honor. This summer I got the unique opportunity to meet Dr. Leacock. And she was so forceful in me coming here that she decided to cancel the NBA season until I agreed to come. Not until I said yes, that I'm pleased to report that now that I'm here, we are indeed going to have an NBA season. This was, for me, a journey for many years. I grew up in Canouan with a stubborn grandmother. And she taught me many things. And the ones that went with me to the United States was the notion that we are a community. And when we have, it is imperative that we share. And then she told me that I should be humble. And I told her that's very difficult when somebody's trying to take my head off and the basketball court. But she told me it is necessary to be humble nonetheless. And above all, she told me never, ever, ever forget where you come from. And those are the messages that I took with me to the United States. And in trying to figure out, as a professional athlete, how do you engage your community? How do you try to make a difference? I started Democracy Matters. And Democracy Matters was born out of the notion I was having a class in philosophy and religion, and the question was whether or not our generation was apathetic. And I differ with my friends. I said, it's not a question of apathy. It's a question of understanding what's out there. People who are apathetic do not go to soup kitchen, do not work in Habitat for Humanity, do not do all of these amazing things. So something else was going on, and Democracy Matters was a response to that. We wanted to re-engage young people in the political system. We wanted to help them find a voice again. And currently we're in about 85 college campuses across the United States. But I was not content. I wanted to find a way to engage the Caribbean population. I wanted to come back home. And I decided to start the Kerosene Lamp Foundation. And the idea behind the Kerosene Lamp Foundation is how could you use basketball as an instrument of change? How do you make sports become the medium for something much larger? So at our camps, you will go from a rebounding station to a nutrition station to literacy, where you get a book, you get a choice to choose a book. Then we will go to passing, and then we'll have an HIV station. Young people are engaged with so many things in their life. There's so many things coming at them. It is important that we don't preach to them, that we help them to understand and how to make decisions for themselves. As someone from the Caribbean, I can say, you know, we have a tendency to say that kids should be seen but not heard. And you get a little slap in your head if you get nosy. And I think we're doing a disservice to them, because hitting them and telling them not to do something doesn't get at the point. What we need to do, we need to engage them to figure out where they are. The regurgitation of information is simply not enough. We have to try to inspire them to be great. They have all of this inside of them, these things bottled inside of them. They want a way to get it out. And what we have to do is engage them. And that's what we try to do in the camp. And you can see tremendous growth in young people, because as the little piece said, it's like choices, decision, consequences. That's not telling them you have to do this. It's saying you have to think through. So whatever decision you try to make in your life, you have to think of the consequences, be it positive or negative. So it's not good enough to say, I don't want to do AIDS. Why? I don't want to do drugs. Why? I don't want to get infected with this. Why? What's the issue here? Let them articulate it to you, and you will see that they're responsive. They're very responsive because they want that. They want to be engaged. The media, I cannot tell you what an important role it is to have you as part of this campaign. Like it or not, our kids more and more are being raised by the media. I mean, it's just a reality that we have to live with. And the difficulty is to have responsible media and responsible parenting. I mean, we don't like to talk about the things that are close to home with us. But when I went to the United States, my step-parents, the one thing they taught me more than anything else, that knowledge doesn't happen that much in the classroom. It happened at the dinner table. And it was imperative that we had conversation at dinner table, and they were both professors in philosophy, religion, they were professors in economics and history, but my basketball experience was very much as important at that dinner table as they're talking about anything else. Because it was the mere fact of engagement, of questioning, of pushing, of asking to go farther than you want to go, of pushing you over and over and over, that you realize that you have a voice within you. How else would you develop that voice if it's not practiced? So when I came back with my camp, it was a notion to engage young people, to see them as partners in this business, as seeing them as part of the solution, not forcing the solution onto them. They have to understand why it's important to change behavior. And I know sometimes we're tired of it. Sometimes they don't listen. They're stubborn. Allison can tell you how many push-ups they got in my camp during the course of our time in St. Vincent. But we have to stick to it. There's a great poem that came out during the rise of Nazism. It says, first they came for the communists, and I didn't say anything because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. we have to continue to speak for our young people. We have to continue to inspire them. It's not good enough to tell them the bad. We have to inspire them about the greatness and what's possible. If someone had told me growing up on an island of 500 people that I will make it to the United States, get an education, get a master's degree, and make it with being one of 400 of the 50 best basketball players in the world, I would have think they're definitely on drugs. But it's possible. It's possible because I think we have the ingredients. We like to work hard. You know, I was never the greatest basketball player, but I'll be damned if anybody was going to outwork me on the basketball floor. That is so Caribbean. That's an authentic Caribbean pedigree. We like to work. We work hard, we play hard, we dance a lot. We can dance all day if necessary. That was a good training for basketball and sports in general. So we have the ingredients within us, and so do the young people. What we do more than anything else, we shepherd that. We tease those greatness that they have within them out. We try to help them to find their true greatness. That is what we do. Somebody asked me once, why do you want to do this? And I said, the responsibility of a professional athlete, I fundamentally believe it's the moral responsibility to change the world in which he finds himself or herself. It is our moral responsibility, because at the end of the day, I tell people is that even if I want to be a great role model out there, it's not my choice. Young people are going to choose me. What I have a choice in is determining the quality of the role model I want to be it a good one or a bad one. That's the choice. As long as you're in the public eye, you don't get the chance or the choice to choose, well, today I'm going to be a role model. That's not a choice you get. Young people picked you. They picked you and they say, I want to be like that, I want to be like that. And all you have in the public eye is the responsibility of saying, you know what, I'm going to be a good one. Because they look up to us. I don't know why most of the time, maybe because we're 6'10" and everybody look up to us. But sports, I think, remembers and teaches us about fair, being fair. It's the one place we can look in society, one of the few places, where it's about justice. It's like you see people get so irate when a referee blow a call because it represents a perfection of where hard work is rewarded. The rules are fair. There is very defined rules. It doesn't matter whether you're a billionaire. It doesn't matter whether you're the poorest person. The rules are the same for you. It is not in many cases in our society. It's certainly not in the political system in the United States. But in sports, we gravitate to it because there's something pure about it. It's something that we all could escape to. I mean, in all the things that are going on, and we know when people are not working hard. We will tell you before you tell us. Yes, West Indies didn't win, but those boys, they suck it up. They were stinking up out on the floor. We know it. Because we understand the hard work that we do in our daily life. We know when it's not being done out in the playing field. So for whatever reason, sports is a very important mechanism to get the message out. Because it tells a young person, these are the values that we hold dear. It's not a question of beating you over the head with it. It's that you have to understand the rules of basketball in order to play it. You cannot go into an economic classroom and talk about history. You cannot go into a sociology classroom and talk about economics. You have to understand that there's different rules for different spheres of society. You need to teach young people more than anything else, how do you learn the language of the rules to play in that particular field and in that particular sphere? That's our mission. And I am so proud that you guys are here to help spread that word, because we have to do it. It's imperative that we win this fight. We have a nation out there of young people that has to be our next leaders. And we have to fight until we can't fight anymore. This, more than anything else, I think we have to understand the global complexities of this issue. Martin Luther King says, injustice any place is a threat to justice everywhere. We have to understand that this is a fight not just of the Caribbean, this is a global fight. And we have to let people aware of the sacrifices that are being made globally to reduce the stigma and to reduce this disease. And that's something, when you understand that you're in a fight beyond your own surroundings, it definitely comes home. When Dr. Leacock asked me to do this, I took out a pen and paper and I started to write down the people that I know that is affected by AIDS and HIV. I got to 10. 10. And I thought, wow, never saw that one coming. 10. And the challenge for us is to take out a piece of paper and truly see how serious this issue is by seeing how many people in our circle is infected or touched by this disease. Facebook recently came out with this notion that we're all used to be separated by 6 degrees. Now it's 4. It speaks to the interconnectedness that we are and this planet. King talked a lot about this global community, and I think it has arrived. So I leave you with this. Dylan Thomas says, do not go gentle into that night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. We must continue to rage a battle like no other for the soul of our young people. We must let them know that no matter what come, no matter what may, we're going to be there for them. We are going to talk to them. And maybe someday one of them will be standing up here saying, my pain in the butt grandmother taught me this. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter if you think they're listening. The truth is, they always are. Thank you.